Do you know where this was purchased?
Jagapavani Madaji. She got it from India.
Somewhere in
Gujarat, maybe.
Meat. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Yanandana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakaramaham Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuktapadakamam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagadatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Pancha Kapaturubhyascha Vipasindurya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktarendra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayeshva Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Nashtiki Prantara Śrimad Bhagāvatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone.
大家早晨，早晨。
Доброе утро.
俄羅斯文嘅早晨。
This morning we're reading from Śrimad Bhagāvatam. How fortunate we are.
今日我哋閱讀聖典博家雅談咧，第一篇第7章第7個詩節。
We're reading Canto 1, Chapter 7, The Son of Drona Punished, verse number 7.
呢一章咧嘅主題係 Drona 嘅兒子受到懲罰，第7節詩。
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Yasya Vaishyamanayam
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Krishne Paramapurushe
Krishne Paramapurushe
Krishne Paramapurushe
Krishne Paramapurushe
Bhaktir Utpadyate Pungsa
Bhakti Rupadyate Punsa
Bhaktir Utpadyate Pungsa
Bhakti Rupadyate Punsa
Shokamoha Bhayapaha
Shokamoha Bhayapaha
Shokamoha Bhayapaha
Shokamoha Bhayapaha
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Krishne Paramapurushe
Krishne Paramapurushe
Bhaktir Utpadyate Pungsa
Bhakti Rupadyate Punsam
Shokamoha Bhayapaha
Shokamoha Bhayapaha Yasya Vaishyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Uptadyate Punsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha Yasyam Vaishyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Utpadyate Punsa Shoka Moha Bhayapaha
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Yasyam Vaishyamanayam
Krishne Param Purushe
Krishne Paramapurushe
Bhakti Utpadyate
Bhakti Utpadyate
Punsa
Punsa
Shokamo Bhayapaha
Shoka Moha Bhayapaha Yasyam Vaishyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Upadhyate Punsa Shoka Moha Bhaya Paha. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Yate Punsa Shoka Moha Bhaya Paha. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Utpadhyate Punsa Shoka Moha Bhaya Paha. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Upadhyate Punsa Shoka Moha Bhaya Paha. Okay. Yasyam, this Vedic literature, Vai, certainly, 肯定地
Shruyamanayam, simply by giving oral reception.
只要聆聽
Krishna, unto Lord Krishna.
向主 Krishna
Parama, supreme.
至尊
Purushe, unto the personality of Godhead.
向人格守神
Bhakti, feelings of devotional service.
奉愛服務的情感
Utpadhyate, sprout up.
湧流
Pungsa, of the living being.
living 生物的
Shoka,
lamentation 悲傷
Moha, illusion.
虛幻
Bhaya, fearfulness.
恐懼
Apaha, that which extinguishes.
那會熄滅的
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness.
譯文光是用耳朵聆聽這偉大文獻，就會生出為至尊人格守神聖主 Krishna 做奉愛服務的情感，從而立刻熄滅哀傷、錯覺和害怕的火焰。
Purport. There are various senses of which the ear is the most effective. This sense works even when a man is in deep sleep.
人體有各種各樣的感官，其中耳朵是感知力最強嘅感官。這個感官甚至喺人熟睡時都工作。
One can protect himself from the hands of an enemy while awake, but while asleep, one is protected by the ear only. The importance of hearing is mentioned here in connection with attaining the highest perfection of life, namely getting free from 3 material pangs.
人在清醒時可以用他的手抵禦敵人的攻擊，但熟睡時就只能靠耳朵保護自己了。就有關擺脱物質痛苦、達到生命最高嘅境界這一點，這節詩中談論到聆聽嘅重要性。
Everyone is full of lamentation at every moment. He is after the everyone is full of lamentation at every moment. He is after the mirage of illusory things, and he is always afraid of his supposed enemy.
每一個人都時刻感受着悲哀嘅情緒，人因為一直喺度追求海市蜃樓般嘅幻象，所以總係害怕假想中嘅敵人。
These are the primary symptoms of material disease.
這些都是物質疾病嘅主要病徵。
And it is definitely suggested herein that simply by hearing the message of Śrimad Bhagāvatam, one gets attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as soon as this is affected, the symptoms of material disease disappear.
這節詩中明確提示，光靠聆聽聖典博伽雅談嘅訊息，人就產生對至尊人格守神聖 Krishna 嘅依戀之情，而一旦有咗呢一種感情，物質疾病嘅病徵亦都會消失了。
Srila Vyasadeva saw the all-perfect personality of Godhead, and in this statement, the all-perfect personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is clearly confirmed.
聖 Vyasadeva 看到了絕對完美嘅人格守神，而呢一節詩中明確說明絕對完美嘅人格守神就係聖 Krishna。
Okay, let's pause and discuss that the purport goes for some length, but let's at least pause here.
因為呢一個要旨咧比較長啲，咁我哋咧讀到呢度先停一停去討論一下。
And first, let's look at Prabhupada's translation. Prabhupada often will add something into the translation which is technically not present in the Sanskrit in order to make it clear.
聖爸爸咧好經常咧會喺翻譯嗰個嘅詩節嘅時候咧，會再加一啲嘅補充嘅，而呢個補充咧本身咧喺梵文裏面咧並冇出現嘅，咁令到嗰個信息更加清晰。
And so here, for example, he adds the word simply by giving oral reception.
譬如喺呢度咧，佢就加咗呢個字咧，佢話只要去到給予呢一個聆聽。
It might be that he is translating the word vai. Vai has a sense of emphasis.
或者咧，佢去到翻譯呢個只要嘅時候咧，佢係去到譯緊 vai 呢個字。vai 呢個字咧有一種嘅加強強調嘅語氣。
It's a word that's found often in the Upanishads.
經常咧會喺奧義書裏面會見到呢一個字。
So the emphasis is to say how effective this hearing of Śrimad Bhagāvatam is.
所以呢一個嘅強調咧係想去說明咧聆聽聖典博伽雅談嘅嗰種嘅有效。
In the previous verse, it said, Lokasya ajanato vidvangs chakre sattvata samitam, that the reason Vyasa has composed the Bhagāvatam is because people are ajanata, they're ignorant.
喺上一節詩裏面咧講到Vyasadeva 咧去到編撰偉大嘅文獻咧，係因為咧佢見到人咧處於愚昧當中。
And then this verse, verse 7, is elaborating on the benefit, the result, how this condition of ignorance is overcome by hearing the Bhagavatam.
而第7節詩咧就去到講述到呢一個嘅愚昧咧點樣可以去到消除咧，就係透過聆聽薄伽亞談。
Prabhupada also adds, he says, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. He's translating the word bhakti.
咁聖爸爸去到翻譯 bhakti 呢一個字嘅時候咧，佢就譯做咧向主 Krishna 嘅奉愛服務嘅情感。
Typically, the scholars will translate the word bhakti simply as devotion.
一般咧學者咧就會見到 bhakti 呢個字咧就係淨係翻譯成為咧奉愛。
It comes from the verbal root, the dhatu, bhaj.
咁呢一個字咧，佢嗰個嘅字根係一個動詞咧，係 bhaj，
which can be translated as to share.
亦都可以咧譯為咧分享。
So Prabhupada almost all the time translates bhakti as devotional service.
差唔多每一次咧，聖爸爸都會翻譯咧 bhakti 咧為奉愛服務。
Which emphasizes that devotion is not only a feeling, it's an action.
去到強調咧，奉愛咧並唔單止係一種嘅情感，亦都係一種嘅行動。
But here, it's interesting, he says, it's the feeling for loving devotional service. So it's emphasizing, yes, there is feeling.
咁呢度好特別嘅，佢咧譯做咧對奉愛服務嘅情感，咁係當中係有情感嘅。
So it's not something mechanical, it's not just rules.
並唔係好機械式嘅，或者並唔係一啲嘅規範規矩。
And it's a feeling, I want to serve Krishna.
係一種嘅情感咧，我想去到服務，我想去服務 Krishna。
And so it's actually nice how he has translated.
所以聖爸爸咁樣去到翻譯咧係非常之美妙。
And then he's translated the word utpadyate as sprouts up.
咁呢一個upadyate 咧，聖爸爸咧就譯為咧湧現啊，湧流。
What's the word for sprout?
Like sprouting， 好似發芽，係啦，飆出嚟嗰種感覺。
We have sometimes in the salad we put sprouts.
有陣時我哋沙律裏面會擺一啲嘅豆芽啦。
And sprouts are the beginning of a plant.
咁呢個芽咧就係一個植物咧啱啱開，即係開嘅時候標芽。
And in English, as a verb, to sprout suggests something new and something fresh and something a little bit sudden.
咁喺英文呢一個字咧，sprout 咧，佢有種意味咧，就係一啲新嘅嘢啦，一啲嘅新鮮嘅，同埋咧有一個係突然間飆出嚟嘅、湧現嘅、出現嘅感覺。
So what is it here that is sprouting up in a fresh way? It's bhakti.
咁呢一度咧所講嘅嗰種嘅發芽啦，產生咧就係咧我哋嘅奉愛。
So what is sprouting up? A feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. Yes, I want to serve Krishna.
向Krishna 呢個奉愛服務啦，所產生嘅情感咧，佢去到湧現出嚟啦。咁呢一個係咩咧？就係我想去到服務 Krishna。
And then in the last line, Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha, we get some more specifics of the result of this bhakti sprouting up.
咁最後一節詩咧就講到，當呢一個奉愛服務情感咧去到出現嘅時候咧，會有啲咩嘅結果？
Technically, it is giving a definition or a quality of bhakti.
咁技術上嚟講咧，就係講緊bhakti 奉愛嘅一個嘅品質。
It's bhakti is something which apaha, which removes, which takes away, or which extinguishes. What does it extinguish? Shoka, moha, and bhaya.
Bhakti 所帶嚟嘅係乜嘢咧？就係 apaha， 可以話咧係消除啦，或者咧呢度講熄滅啦，悲傷、虛幻同埋恐懼。
Have you ever felt some shoka, some lamentation?
你有冇試過有悲傷、悲哀？
No?
Prasadam finish.
佛沙就冇晒啦。
That's a serious problem.
好嚴重啊！呢個問題。
Have you ever experienced moha, illusion?
有冇試過咧感到迷惑啊？疑惑、
No? Yeah.
迷幻。
Even in Hong Kong, sometimes there's illusion. So much
就
illusion.
算喺香港，經常試下。
Have you ever experienced bhaya, fear?
有冇體會過恐懼啊？感受過。
Prasadam finish.
About to finish.
It's about to finish. Yeah. Actually, fear is, you could say, the fundamental problem of material existence.
所以我哋可以講咧，恐懼咧其實係呢個物質存在嘅嗰個根源嘅問題。
So it's explained in the 11th canto, Bhayang dvitiya viniveshatasya ishamapetasya viparyayo asmriti. That fear arises because of turning away from the Lord and forgetting the Lord.
喺《博伽雅談》第11篇裏面咧講到呢一個嘅恐懼咧之所以出現咧，就係因為咧我哋離開咗、背向咗至尊者。
So yes, this is, you could say, the verse as a whole is a kind of advertisement for the Bhagāvatam.
同埋咧忘記咗至尊者，咁呢個咧可以話係聖典博伽雅談好似一個廣告賣嘅廣告。
Why should I bother to read the Bhagāvatam? Well, you want to overcome lamentation, illusion, and fear. Here's how to do it.
呢個廣告咧就係、如果你想去到消除悲傷啦、虛幻同埋恐懼嘅話咧，個方法咧就係、透過博伽雅談閱讀博伽雅談。
And yasyam vai shuyamanayam, simply by hearing Bhagavatam, this is possible.
只要咧去到聆聽聖典博伽雅談咧，就能夠去克服所有呢啲一切。
Next paragraph of the purport. The ultimate result of devotional service is to develop genuine love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Love is a word which is often used in relation with man and woman.
奉愛服務最後嘅結果咧，係發展出對至尊人真正嘅愛。男人同埋女人嘅關係中，經常會用到愛呢一個詞。
And love is the only word that can be properly used to indicate the relation between Lord Krishna and the living entities.
而愛呢一個詞咧，係説明主 Krishna 同埋生物體之間關係嘅唯一恰當嘅詞。
The living entities are mentioned as Prakriti in the Bhagavad Gita, and in Sanskrit, Prakriti is a feminine object.
《Bhagāvatam》梵歌中咧，將生物稱為咧 Prakriti， 而梵文咧 Prakriti 咧係陰性嘅受詞，女性。
The Lord is always described as the Parama Purusha, or the supreme male personality.
至尊主咧始終咧被描述為至高無上嘅男人。
Thus, the affection between the Lord and the living entities is something like that between the male and the female.
至尊主同埋生物之間嘅感情咧，類似男人同女人之間嘅感情。
Therefore, the term love of Godhead is quite appropriate.
因此，對守神嘅愛呢一個説法咧，非常之恰當。
So, Prabhupada is referring to, within the verse, there's the phrase Parama Purusha or Parama Purushe.
喺要旨裏面咧，聖帕帕咧去到指出喺譯文，即係梵文詩詞裏面有呢個字 Parama Purusha。
And he's just saying that it's appropriate because of this relation of Purusha and Prakriti to speak of love, bhakti.
所以咧，去到描述 Bhakti 愛嘅時候咧，用呢一種嘅關係就係至尊人格守神啦 ，Parama Purusha 同埋 Prakriti 呢一個嘅生物體之間嘅關係。
What he doesn't mention is there's the word pumsa. So pums, puman, is typically referring to the male form as opposed to female.
Pumsa, the male form.
It's male.
Yeah. 咁但係聖泡泡咧冇提到咧有一個字咧喺嗰個詩節裏面咧叫 Pumsa， 咁咧特別咧係指男性嘅。
Prabhupada's word for word, he has pumsa of the living being, so whether male or female.
聖泡泡所譯嘅咧就係呢一個生物體啦，咁所以可以係男，亦都可以係女嘅。
So in this world we see both male and female, but both male and female are, in a more ultimate sense, all female. We're all Prakriti.
喺呢個世界上面咧，我哋見到有男人啦，有女人啦，但係終極嚟講咧，其實所有咧都係女人嚟嘅，即係陰性嘅，係 Prakriti。
We're Prakriti in relation to the Supreme Purusha, Parama Purusha, who is the male.
所以對於至尊者、至尊人格守神嚟講，Parama Purusha 嚟講咧，我哋咧就係Prakriti。
But it's more complicated than that.
但係比呢個會更加複雜嘅。
Because sometimes we, as living beings, are also referred to as Purusha.
咁因為咧有陣時候我哋作為生物體啦，亦都會被稱呼咧，只稱為 Purusha。
In the Bhagavad Gita, for example, Purusha Prakritisto hi bhunkte Prakriti Jangunan Karanam Gunasangasya Sadasad Yoni Janmasu. That the Purusha is situated in Prakriti.
喺《博家法歌》裏面，詩節講到咧，呢一個嘅 Purusha 咧係置於 Prakriti 當中嘅。
And in that situation, we are enjoying, or we're trying to enjoy, bhunkte.
喺呢一種情況之下咧，生物體咧就想去到享受呢一個嘅 Prakriti。
And as a result, Karanam Gunasangasya Sadasat Yoni Janmasu, we are born in all different forms of life. Sat Asat Yoni.
因此咧，我哋就不斷咧投身喺唔同嘅生物嘅種類。
Well, that's another context here. Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing this broader context of the Supreme Purusha and we all as Prakriti.
所以喺呢度咧，聖帕帕佢更加廣義咁樣去到描述咧，就係至尊者作為呢一個嘅Parama Purusha，而我哋所有嘅生物咧都係 Prakriti。
And in that context, bhakti makes sense, what Prabhupada is saying. Bhakti makes sense because love we think of as a relation between male and female. So he's saying, yes, the primordial male-female relation is between the Supreme Male and all of the females, all of us.
所以喺呢一個嘅情景之下咧，聖巴巴咧就去講述呢一個愛咧係恰當嘅，因為男女之間嘅愛，咁呢度咧男咧就係代表住至尊者啦，而呢個女人咧女性咧就係代表住所有嘅生物體 Prakriti。
I'm going to leave the rest of the purport for you to read individually.
咁剩翻嘅要旨咧，大家自己各自去睇咯。
Because I want to continue with the Bhagavatam Mahatmya of the Skanda Purana.
因為咧，我想同大家繼續去讀一讀博伽梵歌的榮耀喺呢個Skanda Purana 裏面嘅。
There is a kind of joke among Sanskrit scholars about the Skanda Purana.
有好多嘅呢個嘅梵文嘅學者啦，佢哋咧會攞呢一個 Skanda Purana 咧有開玩笑。
That if you want to make some argument, you can create your own Sanskrit verse to justify. You can quote your own Sanskrit verse, and then when they ask, where is that verse, where is it from, you say, it's from Skanda Purana.
咁譬如可能你要去到辯論嘅時候啦，你要揾一啲嘅理據啦，咁你就可以自己咧去到創作一啲梵文嘅詩節，跟住啲人就會問你呢啲梵文嘅詩節出處喺邊度，你就話喺 Skanda 往世書呢本往世書裏面揾到嘅。
Because the Skanda Purana is very, very long. At least in one version, it's 80,000 verses.
咁咧Skanda Purana 呢一本書咧，其中一個版本咧係有8萬個詩節嘅。
So nobody's going to bother to try to find your verse.
冇人咧會去花心思咧去揾下究竟個詩節喺邊度。
Where is that verse? It's in the Skanda Purana.
嗰個詩節喺邊啊？喺 Skanda Purana 呢度書度。
So we were hearing yesterday that King Vajranabha and King Parikshit have been speaking in Mathura.
我哋琴日咧聽到兩位嘅國王啦 ，Parikshit 王啦，同埋Vajranabha 咧係喺 Mathura 裏面嘅對話。
Vajranabha was concerned because practically no one was left in his kingdom after Krishna had left.
Vajranabha 咧佢就好擔心啦，因為咧當 Krishna 離開咗之後咧，佢嘅王國裏面咧已經冇人剩翻啦。
So Sandilya Muni is called to give advice, and he gives advice that Vajranabha should establish places all around his kingdom where the Lord had performed his pastimes.
咁於是咧Shandilya 咧呢一位嘅聖人咧就去到訓示Vajranabha 國王啦，喺Mathura 大嘅範圍裏面咧，去到建立翻 Krishna 曾經喺嗰度上演過嘅逍遙時光嘅地方。
And Maharaj Parikshit returns to Hastinapur, and he sends Brahmins and Kshatriyas to the kingdom of Vajranabha in Mathura.
然之後咧Parikshit 王咧就翻去 Hastinapur， 佢就派咗一啲嘅婆羅門同埋剎帝利咧去到Vajranabha 嘅王國 Mathura。
It mentions here that Maharaj Parikshit was respecting those Brahmins who were in Mathura, and he was also respecting the monkeys of Vraja.
咁講到咧 Rajanaba 王咧非常之尊敬喺 Mathura 嘅呢一啲嘅婆羅門啦，同埋喺Raj 嘅裏面嘅馬騮。
Why respect the monkeys? They're
點解
such
咁
troublemakers.
尊重呢啲馬騮咧？成日都搞震。
Because he knew they are very dear to Lord Krishna.
因為咧佢知道咧呢啲嘅猴子咧係 Krishna 好鍾愛嘅。
We know little Krishna was feeding the monkeys.
我哋聽到咧Krishna 細個嘅時候咧會餵呢啲馬騮。
In any case, the king does as he was advised, and he establishes so many towns, and also kundas. There are many artificial lakes in Braja.
咁所以國王咧就按照呢個指示咧就建立咗好多呢一啲嘅城鎮啦，而且咧有一啲嘅人造嘅湖。
He also established wells and kunjas and gardens.
亦都咧起咗一啲嘅井啦，一啲嘅樹林啦，花園。
And he established many Shiva temples.
仲建立咗好多 Shiva 嘅廟。
As well as temples of famously Govindadeva and Harideva.
仲有好出名嘅Govindadeva 同埋 Harideva 嘅廟。
And in these conditions, the citizens became very happy, very joyful.
咁因為咁樣咧，喺嗰度嘅臣民咧就非常之開心嘅。
But then there were the 16,000 wives of Krishna who had been left behind, and they were very sad, feeling separation from the Lord.
咁但係咧，仲有咧16000位嘅皇后咧，非常之悲傷啊，因為同 Krishna 分離。
But they noticed that one of their co-wives, Kalindi, was not unhappy. She seemed very jolly, very happy.
但係其中一位嘅妻子咧 ，Kalindi 咧睇落去咧一啲都唔傷心喎，反而好高興。
So they all went to her and asked her, "Why are you so happy?"
咁佢哋全部就去揾佢，點解你咁開心嘅？
We're all Krishna's wives. You are Krishna's wife. We are Krishna's wife. We are burning in the fire of separation with so much unhappiness. But you're not like this. You are very happy. How is this?
佢哋呢啲皇后咧就問 Kalindi， 佢話：我哋係 Krishna 嘅妻子，你又係 Krishna 嘅妻子，我哋咧喺呢一個分離嘅火中咧被燃燒啊！點解你係睇落去咁開心嘅？反而
Do you want to hear her explanation of why she's happy?
想唔想聽下佢嘅解釋咧？
She said, "She Radhika is the soul of Krishna."
佢嘅解釋咧就係 Shradika 咧係 Krishna 嘅靈魂。
And the soul of Krishna, and Krishna is known as Atmarama. We talked about this yesterday.
我哋琴日咧講到咧 Krishna 咧亦都被稱為 Atmarama， 自我滿足嘅。
I am always engaged in the service of Shri Radhika.
我經常咧都係咧為 Shradika 咧做服務。
And because I'm engaged in this service, this pain of separation does not affect me.
因為咧我為佢做服務啦，所以咧呢一個分離嘅痛苦咧冇出現喺我身上。
So like this, she explains, it's all about remembering one's relation to Srimati Radharani and being engaged in her service.
佢繼續咧去解釋咧同 Srimati Radharani 之間嘅關係啦，同埋為佢做服務。
She mentions also that when Akrura came to Vrindavan to take the gopis away, of course, they were very distressed.
咁佢亦都講到咧，當Akrura 咧嚟到將呢一啲嘅母牛姑娘啦分離啦，咁咧佢哋非常之悲傷。
But according to Sutta Goswami in the Skanda Purana, it was not real separation, it was just a reflection of separation.
咁 Sutta Goswami 咧講到呢一種嘅 分離咧唔係真正嘅分離，只不過係一個嘅投射。
And then when Uddhava came later to pacify the gopis and other residents of Vrindavan, their feelings of separation the pain of separation was destroyed.
當 Uddhava 咧嚟到去到安撫嗰啲嘅牧牛姑娘啦，同埋喺 Raj 裏面嘅居民嘅時候咧，佢哋呢一種嘅痛苦咧就得到緩解啦。
And so Kalindi, talking with her co-wives, is saying, you should get the association of Uddhava, and then you will similarly be freed from this suffering of separation.
咁 Kalindi 咧就去到提議呢一啲嘅妻妾啦，就話你哋應該咧去到得到 Uddhava 嘅聯誼啦，咁之後咧你哋呢一啲嘅痛苦咧亦都會消失。
So they were convinced and they said, great, how do we get Uddhava's association?
咁呢啲皇后咧就被說服啦，佢話咁我哋點樣可以得到 Uddhava 嘅聯誼咧？
So tell us how to meet Uddhava.
你話俾我哋聽，我哋點樣可以揾到 Uddhava？
So then Kalindi explains that Uddhava had followed the instruction of Krishna to go to Bhadarik ashram after he instructed him, which consists of most of the 11th canto.
咁喺第11篇裏面講到Uddhava 咧受到Krishna 嘅訓示啦，就去到呢一個嘅
Bhadarik ashram. Badrinath. Yeah.
Badrinath.
So he went there, but he's also present in a hidden way in Vraja. So the thing is to somehow evoke Uddhava in Vraja. How to do that?
咁但係咧，佢同一時間咧又留喺呢一個嘅 Raja 裏面，咁咧就去到喺嗰度咧去到訓示 Uddhava 點樣去到做。
He is present near Govardhan at a place called Sakhi Stali.
佢係喺 Govardhan 嘅附近一個地方叫做 Sakhi Stali。
Sakhi Stali.
Sakhi Stali.
And he's there in the form of a lata, a creeper.
佢喺嗰度嘅形象咧係一個嘅蘭藤咁樣。
And Uddhava is the personification of Lord Krishna's festivals. Utsava.
Uddhava 咧係Krishna 一個節日嘅人格化嚟嘅。
Therefore, Kalindi says, go to Kusum Sarovara and have a big festival.
咁 Kalindi 咧就同呢一啲嘅皇后講，你哋咧去到呢個Kusum Sarovar 嗰度咧，去到有一個辦一個嘅節日。
Get all the devotees together and have Sankirtan.
叫晒所有嘅奉獻者嚟到咧，一齊去到齊眾聖名 Sankirtan。
Accompanied by venas, flutes, and mridangas.
帶埋呢一啲嘅樂器啦、笛子啦、mridanga 啦、vina。
Do you have any flutes playing on your Sankirtan here in Hong Kong? You have flute playing?
Yeah.
In the Sankirtan? In the Kirtan?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, okay, that's nice. That's bona fide. What about Veena? No.
Vina.
Veena's too soft sound. So, what Kalindi is saying is, if you make such festival, then Uddhava will appear.
Kalindi 嘅意思咧就係如果你哋辦一個咁樣嘅節日咧 ，Uddhava 就會出現啦。
So they said, okay, let's do it. And they organized this festival at Sakhi Stali.
咁呢啲皇后咧就話好啦，咁我哋就去搞一個嘅節日啦，喺呢一個 Sakhi Stali。
And then, in this way they became fully absorbed in glorifying Lord Krishna.
咁喺呢個節日裏面咧，佢哋完全沉浸喺榮耀主 Krishna 當中。
At that time, amidst the grass, the vines, and the creepers, Sri Uddhava appeared before everyone.
咁就喺嗰一刻咧，嗰一個時刻咧，喺所有呢啲樹林啦、松木咧當中咧，Uddhava 咧就出現咗喺佢哋所有人面前。
His complexion was bluish.
佢嘅身體嘅膚色咧係藍色嘅。
He wore yellow garments.
着住黃色嘅衫。
He had a garland of forest flowers.
戴住呢一個森林嘅花嘅花環。
And he had gunja berry garland.
有花環 gunja。
Gunja. Little berries.
嗰啲梅啊，梅。
And he was constantly glorifying Krishna, the lover of the gopis.
咁佢就一直咧喺度榮耀住Krishna 啦，係夢牛姑娘嘅愛人。
So at this moment, this Sankirtan festival the devotees were having, the beauty of it increased many times.
咁呢一個節日咧，送奉獻者去到舉辦啦，然之後咧嗰種嘅快樂喜悅咧係不斷嘅倍增。
And the example is given just as when the light of the moon comes onto a crystal house.
OK， 就係有嗰個美麗咧，就好似呢一個嘅月亮嘅月光啊，去到灑落喺一個水晶嘅屋嗰度。
So everyone is merged in an ocean of bliss.
所有人咧都沉浸喺呢一個喜樂嘅海洋裏面。
So much so that they forgot what they were doing.
佢開心到咧唔記得咗自己喺度做緊乜嘢。
So then they realized, oh, Uddhava is here.
咁嗰刻突然間佢哋醒覺，Uddhava 喺度。
And they worshipped him.
咁就崇拜 Uddhava。
Okay. Now Uddhava speaks. Do you want to hear what Uddhava says?
Uddhava 開始講説話啦。
No?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He speaks to the king, to Vajranava.
咁佢咧先同呢一個國王 Rajanava 去到講説話。
And he says, your desire has been filled. Why? Because you have performed this Sankirtan festival.
佢話咧，你嘅願望咧，去到實現咗啦，因為咧你去到舉辦咗一個咁樣嘅 Sankirtan 嘅節日。
Oh, excuse me. Correction. He's not speaking to Vajranava. He's speaking to Parikshit.
佢係同 Parikshit 王所講嘅。
So I guess Parikshit came back from Hastinapur to join in the party.
咁我估應該係Parikshit 王咧，從 Hastinapur 咧嚟到嗰度嘅地方啦，然之後去參與呢一個嘅節日。
Let's see. So he's explaining about how Krishna had ordered Arjuna to escort his wives to Vraja so that they could reside there.
咁裏面有提到咧 ，Krishna 咧去訓示 Arjuna 咧去到接送佢哋即妻子啦、皇后咧係去到 Vraja 嗰度。
And the Lord in Vraja, he has 64 qualities, as we know. And these 64 qualities are like thousands of spiritual sparks radiating in all directions.
我哋所知咧，喺 Raja 嘅主咧有64個品質，而呢64個品質咧就好似嗰啲陽光嗰啲嘅光燦啊，嗰啲火花去到各個方向咧去到發射住。
And these qualities, the light of these qualities, are illuminating the land of Vraja.
咁呢一啲嘅光芒咧，係照亮整個 Vraja 嘅地方。
And then, okay, he says, without Krishna manifesting in one's heart, no one can realize his constitutional position.
如果 Krishna 咧冇喺一個人嘅心中咧去到展現嘅話咧，一個人冇辦法知道自己呢個嘅原本嘅地位。
We might remember this is what Uddhava was explaining to the Vraja Gopis when he came from Mathura.
當Uddhava 咧從Mathura 去到蒙牛姑娘嗰度嘅時候咧，向蒙牛姑娘去解釋呢一啲。
Now, I have to say, as I remember in the Bhagāvatam, when the gopis hear this, they are not really satisfied.
我記起咧喺雅談裡面講到咧，當蒙牛姑娘聽到呢一點嘅時候咧，佢哋並唔覺得並唔完全滿意。
Basically, they were saying, don't tell us all of this philosophy.
佢哋嘅意思就係話，你唔好同我哋講呢一啲嘅哲學啦。
We want Krishna, we don't want philosophy.
我哋唔想聽哲學，我哋淨係想要 Krishna。
But here in the Skanda Purana, it's saying that when they heard from Uddhava, they were completely pacified. So there seems to be a disagreement there.
咁所以，但係喺 Skanda Purana 呢度所描述咧，當蒙牛姑娘聽到Uddhava 解釋嘅時候咧，佢哋又好似好心滿意足喎。
In any case, here he says, the time of the Lord's appearance in this yuga cycle has ended. Therefore, I will now tell you the means of having Krishna manifest within one's heart.
咁無論點都好啦，跟住之後咧，佢就話啦，Krishna 咧喺呢一個嘅世界嘅存在嘅時間咧已經結束啦。而家咧，我會話俾你聽咧，點樣可以讓到 Krishna 喺我哋嘅心中去到顯現。
Do you want to hear how that is? No?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. When Lord Krishna is unmanifest, he will appear from Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
當 Krishna 咧去到唔展現自己嘅時候咧，佢會展現嘅方式咧就係透過聖典博伽雅談。
Whenever and wherever the devotee Bhagavata hears and recites the book Bhagavata, at that time and at that place, Lord Krishna personally appears.
無論係何時何地啦，只要奉獻者咧去到閱讀聖典博伽雅談嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 就會喺嗰個地方咧去到顯現。
Wherever a verse of Śrimad Bhagāvatam or even a half verse of Śrimad Bhagāvatam is recited, Lord Krishna and his beloved gopis manifest there.
去到誦讀吟誦啦，呢一個博伽雅談嘅詩節啦，就算係半個詩節咧 ，Krishna 同埋蒙牛姑娘咧都會喺嗰度咧去到展示。
So not only Krishna appears, but also the gopis.
所以唔單止係 Krishna， 仲有蒙牛姑娘亦都會顯現。
That's pretty good. It says whenever and wherever.
係何時何地去到吟誦聖典博伽雅談。
After attaining a human birth in the land of Bharata, those who do not hear Śrimad Bhagāvatam due to sinful activities are committing suicide.
如果一個人佢出生喺 Bharat 即係印度啦，佢得到一個人嘅出生啦，但係咧佢並冇去到聆聽聖典博伽雅談嘅時候咧，佢就好似自殺。
A person who regularly hears or recites Śrimad Bhagāvatam delivers the forefathers of his wife, mother, and father.
咁一個人咧去到聆聽啦，或者去到誦讀聖典博伽雅談咧，佢就能夠去到拯救佢嘅祖先啦，佢嘅父母親。
So, like that, he goes on glorifying the Bhagavatam.
咁佢就之後咧一直咧去到榮耀聖典博伽雅談。
And then he says, this, I found this interesting. He refers to Brihaspati as his own spiritual master, Uddhava.
咁之後咧 Uddhava 咧就提到咧佢嘅靈性導師啦Brihaspati。
So he says, I have heard the Bhagavatam from Brihaspati, which is interesting because he also heard from Krishna.
Uddhava 咧話咧，我從佢嘅 Guru Brihaspati 嗰度咧聽到聖典博伽雅談，咁但係好有意思，因為咧佢亦都從 Krishna 嗰度聆聽博伽雅談。
And he says, Brihaspati told me one story which explains the method for hearing Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
Brihaspati 咧同我解釋過咧，有一個方法咧點樣去到聆聽聖典博伽雅談。
Do you want to hear this?
Yes.
Why not? Okay, so Lord Krishna, in the process of creating the universe, accepted the Purusha avatars.
當 Krishna 咧去到創造呢一個宇宙嘅時候咧，佢接受咗一個形象咧，就係 Purusha Avatar 呢個化身。
And he manifested the three personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
咁佢就再去到展現為三位嘅人物啦 ，Brahma 啦、Vishnu 同埋 Shiva。
And they manifest at the same time the three modes of nature kind of unfolded. So Sattva, Raja, Tamaguna.
咁佢同一時間咧，又再去到展示為三種物質自然嘅屬性：善良、激情、愚昧。
And Lord Krishna, or Narayana, assigned each of these personalities a certain task: creation, maintenance, and destruction.
咁 Krishna 咧或者 Narayana 咧就去到派遣佢哋咧呢三位人物咧，分別咧係負責創造、維繫、毀滅三個嘅工作。
So then Lord Brahma approaches Lord Krishna and prays to him for blessings how to do his service, which was creation.
Brahma 咧就向主咧去到請求啦，佢點樣咧係去到做呢一個創造嘅。
And the Lord responds to him by, it says here, he gave Lord Brahma the Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
咁主點樣做咧？就係佢將聖典博伽雅談咧送咗俾 Brahma。
So, and he tells him, if you want to be successful, just always serve the Śrimad Bhagāvatam.
如果你想要成功嘅話咧，你就時刻咧都去到服務聖典博伽雅談。
So Lord Brahma was very happy.
Brahma 就好開心啦。
In order to attain Krishna and to penetrate the seven coverings of the universe, he recited the Śrimad Bhagāvatam for 7 days.
為咗咧去到 Krishna 嗰度咧，而且咧衝破呢一個物質世界嘅七重嗰個嘅覆蓋啊，咁咧佢就去到誦讀7日咧，去到誦讀聖典博伽雅談。
So we've always heard that Parikshit Maharaj heard from Shuka for 7 days.
我哋成日咧都會聽到 Parikshit 王咧係從 Sukadeva Swami 嗰度咧聽博伽雅談7日，連續7日。
But prior to that, Lord Brahma had recited for 7 days.
其實喺呢一個之前咧 ，Brahma 咧係誦讀雅談咧7日嘅。
So then later, Lord Vishnu offered prayers to Lord Krishna.
之後咧，主 Vishnu 咧就向主 Krishna 咧獻上禱文。
And he was blessed in a similar way.
咁佢又係類似地咧得到呢個祝福。
In order to do his service of maintaining the universe.
咁咧去讓到佢能夠去到履行呢一個嘅工作咧，就係維繫宇宙。
And so Śrimad, Lord Vishnu, he recites the Bhagavatam. Who does he recite to? To Lakshmi.
佢將咧聖典博伽雅談咧係向 Lakshmi 咧去到誦讀嘅。
And for how long does he recite? Not for 7 days, but for 1 month.
1個月嘅時間。
So then Lakshmi Devi is listening to Śrimad Bhagavatam. And after some time, then they switch places, and Lakshmi recites Bhagavatam to Vishnu.
OK，咁Lakshmi 咧女神咧去聽咗博伽雅談啦，過咗一段時間之後咧，佢哋調翻轉，咁咧由Lakshmi Devi 咧向 Vishnu 咧去講述誦讀博伽雅談。
But when Lakshmi recites to Lord Vishnu, she takes 2 months.
咁但係Lakshmi 向 Vishnu 去到誦讀雅談咧係用咗2個月時間。
Because for 2 reasons. One,
2個原因。
Vishnu, he was kind of simultaneously busy doing his universal maintenance, so he was kind of quickly rushing through.
咁一個原因咧就係當Vishnu 咧去到誦讀雅談嘅時候咧，佢好忙於去到維繫呢個宇宙，所以咧佢就好匆忙咁樣讀。
But Lakshmi was not in such a hurry.
咁但係咧 Lakshmi 咧就唔需要咁匆忙。
And she was relishing also. The other reason is because she was relishing the Bhagavatam as she was reciting it. So she took her time.
咁另外一個原因咧就係Lakshmi 咧當佢誦讀雅談嘅時候咧，佢係品嚐緊雅談，所以咧佢係慢慢比較悠閒啲咁樣去到。
So then,
做
Lord Shiva, he offered prayers to Lord Narayan, to Krishna, in order to do his service of completely destroying the universe.
然之後咧Shiva 咧亦都向Krishna Narayana 去到祈禱啦，點樣可以履行好佢嘅職責，去到破壞去到摧毀呢個宇宙。
And the Lord inspired him. Yes, you just recite Śrimad Bhagavatam and you will be very successful in completely destroying the universe.
咁主就同佢講啦，你又係啦，你去到誦讀聖典博伽雅談啦，跟住你就非常之好，完全咁樣將個宇宙毀滅。
And Lord Shiva, he recited not for 7 days, not for 1 month, not for 2 months, but for 1 year.
Shiva 咧去到誦讀雅談咧係用咗1年嘅時間。
So this is all being explained by Brihaspati to Uddhava, who is explaining this to the wives of Krishna.
所以由 Brihaspati 咧向 Uddhava 去到解釋啦，然之後咧 Uddhava 咧又將呢一個嘅教導咧去到講俾Krishna 嘅妻子皇后聽。
And that's where we can stop. The story doesn't end there, but I think we can stop there for today.
咁呢個故事仲未完嘅，不過我哋今日淨係講到嚟呢一度。
Grantaraj Śrimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Gaur Premanande Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.